Hey, I'm Matt from Matt Lane Fitness. Before we dive into the video, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, every time I put out a video, you're going to know about it. This video, I wanted to talk about actually another video that I did with a good friend of mine, Holden Hardman. You ever heard of him?
Somebody order fried sauerkraut?
That's me, Holden Hardman.
He's a fantastic YouTuber, and he's a good friend of mine. This video actually is receiving a little bit of traction that he told me I need to check out because there's quite a few comments from people that love it. And there are people that hated it. I think they just hate me, but that's okay. The video is called My Friend Watches Every Star Wars Movie for the First Time. If you haven't watched this video that I'm about to talk about, I'm going to link it here, and I highly suggest you watch it before you watch this video. And I wanted to sort of expound on why I reacted the way I did in this video. We watched all 8 movies, and then we finally watched the 9th one. And if you stick around, I'll tell you how I feel about the 9th movie. And what you hear may surprise you. Holden put this video out on October 22nd, 2019. And we shot this over the course of 8 weeks. Every single Wednesday, we would watch another Star Wars movie. And first of all, I think that Holden did a good job at following the storyline rather than the timing and when these movies came out, because George Lucas, the way he did it was sort of chopped up. You know this, you've seen Star Wars. So for me, having ADD, I think that was the best way to do it because I was able to follow the storyline as easy as I possibly could. Secondly, I think that one problem we had was we watched all these movies at my house, and I think that the audio was pretty rough because I remember specifically thinking the audio was just so sharp, and it didn't feel that way when I watched episode 9. Getting to that later. But I've seen only a few comments, and that's one of the bigger points of this video that I'm making here is the comments on this video. Holden told me that I should take a look, and I'm gonna look at a few for the first time now. Now I have seen some of them, but I wanted to get my reaction on some more. This is one of those cases where I feel this dude probably isn't into fantasy at all. Seems like John Wick is the most fantastical thing he'd be into. Lol. As a matter of fact, that's kind of true, and I've never even seen John Wick. But I think that's another big piece, is that I've never been into fantasy. Storm Rage. To be fair, I love fantasy, but epic and SF, but SW, Star Wars, is kind of overrated for me. It is fine, but there are so many better stories. I enjoyed all the movies, even bad ones, but it is just another fantasy movie series. That was bold. The person right underneath them, Alexandru Jimin, watch your mouth. Marlon Panetta, I want Let's Do It Nerds on a t-shirt now. Don't play. I'll do that. This dude is straight up not capable of watching movies. Touche. James Brammick. I don't want to make fun of him, but like, how the hell is it hard to follow the story in the OG trilogy? Good point. I understand a little in the prequels, but honestly, I think he just had a stigma to the series, basically made him reject everything. And, and that brings me to another point. I think that, for me, there's no nostalgia built into Star Wars for me. And I realize that your perception is your reality. So when we were done with Star Wars, we actually watched Top Gun, which is one of my most favorite movies ever. But I think the big reason is because when I was growing up, I watched it with my brothers, with my dad. It was such a, America movie, and it was in my family that we loved it so much. That's why today I get a literal, visceral reaction whenever I watch it. I get goosebumps, I get teary-eyed, it grabs me. By the way, the new one looks fire. Tom's like 106 years old and he's still doing it. But I started thinking more about Top Gun and how much I love it. And my friends Rich and Kiana specifically, they had never seen Top Gun. They watched it that night with us for the first time, and they didn't like it at all. And I was so baffled as to why they couldn't like it. They actually said a few things negatively about it, and it actually kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And I thought about that while I was looking at these comments, and I was like, that's exactly how the folks that love Star Wars feel. And it makes me wonder, why do you watching it, why do you love Star Wars as much as I love Top Gun. You know, I think that, again, your perception is your reality. I don't think that it's wrong that you don't like Top Gun. And I don't think that it's wrong that I don't like Star Wars. I think it's just your reality that you say Star Wars is the best franchise ever, which I agree. It's pretty spectacular. I do respect the game that is Star Wars and the generations that they've touched and grabbed and held on to. Respect. But from a fantasy standpoint and all that, I'm just not into it. However, when Rich and Kiana said that they didn't like it and they hated on it, sure, I was hurt a little bit jokingly, but I wasn't like upset with them legitimately because I knew that just wasn't their thing. But there's nothing that they could have said or done that made me feel any different about Top Gun. I will love Top Gun until the day I die. I think to truly appreciate Star Wars, you have to understand the conditions and cultural mindsets surrounding its release. Boom. I mean, it literally changed filmmaking as we know it and paved the way for so many technological innovations that are used today, not to mention it also won 7 Academy Awards. I was introduced to the franchise as a child and have loved it ever since. The world of Star Wars has always captivated me, and it bums me out when people don't love it, yeah. However, I respect his respect for the franchise even if it's not his thing. Thank you, I appreciate that. Really cool video. Interested to see someone else's perspective. Harrison Moeller. Is it Harrison Moeller? You just nailed my entire point of this video. That's going in the video. Actually, I'm going to comment to that. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. And to you, the Star Wars fan, if I offended you, just know that I legitimately know how you feel, and I mean no disrespect. You know, I could literally feel that, like, jabbing of a knife in my heart when Rich and Kiana watched it and did not like Top Gun. So I know how you feel, and just know that I do respect it. Because I don't think they even respected Top Gun. So what? You got some douchebags running around without shirts on. And finally, the moment you've been waiting on. Episode 9. This was the biggest point. This was pretty much the biggest reason we made this video, because we knew that episode 9 was coming. We wanted to shoot this reaction, release it around the same time, and maybe this video would do well. Lo and behold, it worked, Holden. Good job. What was very interesting about episode 9, I went into episode 9 fully giving it a chance. I promise you I gave it a chance. Hell, I still have Holden's friggin' outfit. I got dressed up as somebody. Luke. I got dressed up as Luke. So here's the pants. There's the cape with the hood and everything. The hood. Here's the little sachets. Holden, come get your outfit. But anyway, I got dressed up to go see Star Wars Episode 9. I truly gave it a chance. And I don't know if it was because the lights were completely dark. There was no distractions, and my ADD brain could really concentrate. Or if it was the IMAX beautiful screen, or maybe that the audio was incredible, and it wasn't like shearing, you know, bouncing off tiles in a house. But I gotta tell you, that Star Wars Episode 9 grabbed me, and gave me visceral feelings. I got teary-eyed, I had goosebumps. It ended really well. I was able to follow it. I would watch it again. It was a fantastic movie, and by far the best Star Wars that I saw. I believe I said in this video that Holden shot was, I think I said Episode 7 was my favorite, but Episode 9 was the best. And I legitimately, I think I told them 8 out of 10. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. Seriously, it was incredible. I just admitted that I liked one of the Star Wars movies. Crap. Now I'm really going to catch some. I truly appreciate you stopping by, and if you watched this far, you mean the world to me. Thank you. I put out videos every week on health, fitness, wellness related stuff. I also have a podcast called the Better Than Yesterday Everyday Podcast, where myself and my wife, registered nurses, and a personal trainer, we talk about implementing behavior change for your long-term wellness and happiness. If you don't want to listen to the podcast, I have a YouTube channel that I'll tie here. Again, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. If you came from Holden's video, go show him some love, or just go tell him how much you hate me for not liking Star Wars. And yeah, see you in the next one. You don't have to be perfect at this avoiding people murdering you thing for not liking a franchise. Just try to be better than yesterday. every day.